So the producer's offset, what is it? It is a tax rebate. As most of you are probably aware, it's used as an incentive to drive film production. Film production obviously has value to the economy. People like to see Australian stories on screen, and it does drive a significant part of the economy. There are three main federal tax incentives. They are the location offset, and I know we ran through the location offset this morning. It's mainly aimed at larger US productions. There's a guaranteed 16.5%. That's not quite competitive on the world market. You can generally get 30% from certain locations. So there is basically a top-up fund which the government has put together, which is the $35 million a year for 4 years to try and attract the footloose international productions. They did lose the Martian up in Queensland because there's a certain uncertainty about whether you get a top-up or not. There's a lot of people arguing that it should be a definite 30% or something similar, but that hasn't come through yet. There's the post-digital and visual effects, or the PDV. That's mainly aimed at post-production. So if you're looking at doing things like shooting in America, you can come out here and do your post and get 30% of your post-production back. And that applies to things like features as well. So a lot of visual effects, they might be shooting a Batman or a Superman, and they'll come out here and go to some of the bigger post-production companies and get a 30% rebate on that. The tax incentives work basically as a percentage back on budget, especially the producer's offset and the PDV. So it's basically a certain amount of your spend. You'll get that back when you do your tax return. I'll go through that in a minute. Why is it set up like that? I wasn't around for the 10B to 10BA, but from what I understand, when you've got a tax deduction for your actual investment, there are a lot of tax deductions got claimed on films that didn't actually get made. So I think the government said, rather than actually give you a tax deduction up front, we're actually going to wait until the film gets made and then give you a rebate. Obviously, that causes issues on the funding side, which is why you've then got to get it cash flowed and everything like that. But my understanding is that's the way it's been set up, as a tax rebate, and not some sort of deduction or incentive like that.